A BIS 301. Happy 4th of July. Um, I am in hot and humid Naples, Italy, and it's about 2:30 in the afternoon here. So Phoenix, that means it's whatever, 9 hours. But hey, great job on the introductions. Um, what a diverse group. You guys are everywhere. We got people, dare I say, east of me, people that are west of me, south of me, north of me. So students, you guys are everywhere. I look forward to your diverse contributions, outlooks, perspectives. Oh, sorry, was I playing music there? Um, and so there's 35 students in the class right now. We're a weekend, so I think that should be it. I think 27 have checked into the class. That's always good, because looking at it from the standpoint of a full 3-week, full semester class, it's like we're 2 weeks in already. Okay, so anybody that's not keeping up or missing out is could be in trouble. So I appreciate you getting a good jump on it. Again, I really enjoyed reading your intros. I tried to leave something, you know, comments for everyone, specifically for you. And let me say that, let's see, what else do I have? Well, okay. Oh, also housekeeping note on discussion board. You don't have to put it on a Word doc. Discussion boards should be there so we can see them really quickly. You can reply to them, clearly, and get that whole, like comment board going. We've seen it all over. So no need to go Word doc on there, because then you just get in trouble, because then I look at it and I say, didn't they just take the syllabus quiz and where one of the answers is no Calibri 12, and you're sending me a Word doc with Calibri 12? Okay. Anyhow, all right, so let's start the Easter eggs, and I'm going to use numbers, words, I don't care. I just want to know what you're watching, and you should get rewarded for it, I guess, huh? Should you? Participation ribbon. So today, the first one will be, what I have? I wrote them down. Oh, okay, let's go with this guy right here. I'm gonna try to take you over here, show you what I'm looking at, huh? Okay, so there behind me, under the clouds, wait, let me see if I can clear it up here. There it is. It's Vesuvius, okay? So first word is Vesuvius. Anybody know what that is? So here's my view, huh? Trains. Anybody like trains? Anyhow, I'm going to Rome tomorrow on the train, so it's nice to be this close. Actually going to the Vatican, right outside the Vatican. All right, so first word is Vesuvius, okay? So the discussion board, great. Remember, it's 3 responses to your peers, 5 points each, and the main post is worth 35. Remember that late penalty is 10% for 1 module, 20% for 2, no more than 2. We're going to run out of time pretty quick anyways. A lot of trains going by too. Discussion board, good. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so getting into module 2. It starts tomorrow, right? 5th. RepCo Chapter 2, self-explanatory, a lot of good stuff going on in there to read about. He's kind of our godfather of interdisciplinary studies. By the way, I'll be calling interdisciplinary studies IDS for short. Also, you're going to read team, what is it called? Cross-functioning teams. Where is it? Here it is. All right, so the world of cross-functioning teams, about 10 pages. It's good casual reading. It's big margins, so it's not much there. But it gets you in the frame of mind about what we're talking about here, and how sometimes we use words, and it's okay to use them in normal conversation, but when we get down to it in an academic sense, the word team, is it a team, is it a group? All right, what does it mean to be cross-functional? What does it mean? We're really got to get down to the brass tacks here on to identify what IDS is and consequently what it isn't. okay? So that's one of the readings. Another reading, then we start getting into some really important things to give you an idea of what the heck degree you're going to get and how do you explain it. What's the elevator pitch here? So you're going to read by Richard Meath's classic, Interdisciplinary Studies, A Matter of Definition. It's old, really old, like 1978. That's how long it's been around. But it's going to be really clarifying in terms of how we look at these studies, how we look at academics, okay? So it's going to be important that you familiarize yourself with 5 concepts, okay? 1 is intradisciplinary, or just disciplinary, intradisciplinary, intra, not intra. That means just one discipline. You're looking at something, a work of art, a literature, a project, science, whatever, through eyes of one discipline, the lens of one discipline. That's intradisciplinary, okay? And I'm going to work along with the pyramid you're going to see on here. It's just the diagram to use, as well as another diagram that talks about the flow of what we're discussing here. So intradisciplinary, and it goes up to cross-disciplinary. That's looking at something from one discipline through the lens of another. For example, music. Looking at a piece of music, analyzing it through a lens of mathematics, okay? 2 distinct different disciplines, and yet you can look at music through a lens of mathematics, correct? Can you, right? Okay, next one up, so it's intra, cross, multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is the biggest confusing thing that interdisciplinary students run into, okay? So a lot of my students say that I'm taking 2 disciplines and I can learn about 2 different things and it's so great and stuff like that. And I say, no, that's called a double major. That's called a major minor. All right, interdisciplinary is integrated, but let's not jump the gun. Multidisciplinary, 2 separate disciplines, okay? So business and communication, family human development, and nutrition. 2 separate things. You're keeping them separate. You're learning about both. It's multidisciplinary. You might be analyzing an issue from 2 different disciplines, multidisciplinary. Could be a group of different disciplinarians, different experts that are looking at something, multidiscipline, okay? So we had intra, cross, multi. Now we get to us, IDS, interdisciplinary studies. Interdisciplinary, looking at something interdisciplinary through interdisciplinarity is to integrate ideas, to, put it through the blender, the smoothie, to really get in there and see how it connects, see what some of the common terms are, or to develop a language that's consistent with both. Okay, you'll learn more about that later on in the course, but interdisciplinary is very specifically different. Above that, transdisciplinary. That's kind of like the highest level, and trans meaning transcendent, goes beyond, all right? So transdisciplinary goes beyond the disciplines, all right? And I'll give you an example of that. But and I'm going to get into that example in a minute here when I get into, all right, so you got the pyramid. You're going to look at that pyramid, read Meath, 1 page, read The World of Cross-Functioning Teams, look at the different approaches. You'll see that in arrows. Get some kind of sense. Now you get in context of what we're dealing with here. It's not just some kind of fog, the fog of IDS. At least you'll know what we're talking about here, okay? In that case, you're going to then go to, with that information, go to a discussion board, all right? And you're going to consider a hypothetical panel of experts dealing with, what are we dealing with on this one? Domestic violence or domestic terrorism or something? I'm sorry, I should have had that page open. But in any event, what you're going to do is you're going to, think about who would be on this committee and how does it work, okay? So it's going to be, all right, this is the discussion board, okay? So it's like domestic terrorism, mass shootings, things like that. Unfortunately, it's been in the news a lot. And unfortunately, this subject has been, I haven't had to change it because unfortunately it's been in the news a lot, all right? So you're going to look at what might an interdisciplinary committee look like, cross-disciplinary, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary. All right, what do they look like? Who's on there? What what would their disciplinary expertise be? And I'm going to really caution you here. I don't want you to go right from here to an occupation. Remember this, an occupation is not a discipline, right? It's, you know, practicing that discipline, but it's not that discipline, okay? So you don't just tell me what disciplines are represented on your multidisciplinary committee by telling me a law enforcement officer and a priest or something. Those aren't disciplines. Religious studies is a discipline. Justice studies is a discipline. Then identify the occupation with the discipline, okay? And when you're identifying a discipline, you can capitalize it in terms of, so hey, it's an important part of this, all right? So you're gonna focus on the disciplines that are represented and who's representing those disciplines and how those people are working together or individually to solve domestic terrorism. And I don't expect you to do that. I just expect you to hypothesize about that and consider it and get an idea of what it looks like, so that when you're looking at the real world and you're looking at, you know, this panel on such and such, looked at it, you can say, oh, well, that's a multidisciplinary panel. They're not really working together. They're all doing their own thing and then reporting it to one department head. You can do that in your job. You can do that from the news. You can do that through research that you read online, things that resonate with you. So it's important to understand those distinctions, all right? By the way, so I have this external hard drive right here. It's got, it's like 4 terabytes, bought it before we left, Costco, great deal. Had so much on there, I probably got about out of 4 terabytes, probably got 500 gigs on there. It failed yesterday, okay? So I've got probably 2,000 at least images, videos, documents. I've got some, and on my list of things to do, I've got redundancy in my files. I thought I could make it through this, but hopefully Seagate can recover it. I did find a lot of my redundant stuff in the cloud, so I'm not totally panicked, but I'm really irritated. So the second Easter egg is HD for hard drive, okay? That's a big deal going on right now for me. All right, so the next assignment is plan of study. All right, there's a rubric for the plan of study. Look at it, it's on MySU, and if you're having any trouble with any of this stuff, finding it, doing whatever you have to, shoot me an email, okay? I think most of you know by now that I respond pretty quickly. Even with the time delay and things, I do try, I make it a point, keeping my inbox empty, all right? I don't want you to spin your wheels, okay? So, this is worth 50 points, all right? It's due July 10th, and it's a plan of study. It's pretty simple, I guess I could say, because what you're doing this for you. So notice that the first module and most of the second one are about you. They're introspective in many ways. You're learning some of the terminology, but it's a lot about you. So don't expect the whole course to be like that. It's not really a self-help class, but so people kind of get a little confident and they're flying around with good stuff. But then all of a sudden, you know, pretty soon it's going to transition more into, you know, what you're learning from out there, not what's coming from in here. Because what comes from in here, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. No. But you know what I'm saying. Okay. So you're going to print out your DARs. Hopefully you're familiar how to do that. You don't have to print it out. I mean, really. I mean, yes, if you could attach it and I can see it, I know you looked at it. That's really good evidence of that. Okay. You know, I just want to make sure you're on the ball with that DARs. You know, some people get caught. Students, from your intro, most of you seem to be on the ball, knowing where you're heading, things like that. But it's good to know. To make sure you know. List some of the important courses you've taken. And don't just give me CMP 180. I don't know what that is, okay? If you want to give me the numbers and code, fine. Just tell me the name of the class, okay? All right? Because if I told you AFS 202, you guys would be like, huh, what do you say? And if I said African studies, diaspora studies or something, you get a better idea, all right? So discuss a little bit about those. And this is on a Word doc, okay? You know, Times New Roman, 12-point font, double line spacing. Please use paragraph breaks. Do your best with grammar and spelling, spell check, okay? You know, this is a more formal level, all right? You'll see me even go more informal. And hey, to your benefit, I'm not as hard-ass as I used to be about certain things, but I do have my limits. We're university students. We can act like it or fake it for a little while, right? Okay, so you're going to put together a semester-by-semester plan. Tell us what courses you think you're going to take. It's not going to be perfect because some courses aren't obviously offered every semester, but just give an idea that you know where you're headed, okay? and why you've chosen these classes, how they fit with your career goals. And you can see the rubric right there. It's how I got it laid out. Pretty simple, all right? Notice though I do have overall quality of paper, spelling, grammar, formatting, etc. is worth 10 points out of that 50, okay? So I do take that in equal parts like everything else, all right? So I think we've got that done. All right, oh, okay. In response to a few people asking me, and just that I think it might be easier in this class, you guys seem like a real friendly group. Not like some of the classes I've had. You guys seem like you're gonna get along pretty well, however, digitally, right? I set up the hallway conversations, and so you can kind of trade some group knowledge and things, ask some questions or get some ideas. Remember though, if it's something you want to ask me, just ask, okay? It's not a big deal. If it's something you think the group could share in, great, do that too. I'll keep an eye on it. Did you guys hear that? I mean, there's high-speed trains going on out. It's pretty cool, actually. Okay, I went through the channel from London to Paris. That was fun. Okay, now, all right, so that's good. And yeah, if you want to set up, study groups, whether you're in Tempe or anywhere, or however you want to do it, great. Talk about me behind my back, it's fine. I can take it. All right, so the last Easter egg, USA, right? USA, 4th of July. So funny because this trip to Europe, I've been here 7 weeks. It's made me appreciate a lot of the creature comforts I didn't know were creature comforts at home. And it doesn't make us ugly Americans unless we, make ourselves ugly while we're here. But, there is a point where I just say, can I get a washer and dryer? Can I get a garbage disposal? Can I get a door that closes? Okay, sorry. Okay, you guys have a great 4th. I know there's not a lot of time off in this class, but hey, you signed up for it. So, all right, that'll do it from Naples. Next time I talk to you next week, should be in Lisbon. I go to Rome for 4 days, and then I'm going to Lisbon for a quick 2. Got to buy some Cuban cigars. They don't sell them here. All right, forks up.